Hello, my name is Clay Morgan, and I'm an attorney with the law firm of Morgan and Barbary in Brevard County, Florida. And today I'd like to talk with you about dog bite liability. You know, many people don't realize it, but once you purchase a dog and you own a dog in the state of Florida, you're liable for the damages that could be done from that dog, whether it be bites, or if the dog runs out and jumps on somebody that's on a bicycle, or runs out in front of a car causing a car accident. All those things are things that could possibly come back and place liability on you for the dog's actions. So it's always a good idea to think about these things beforehand and know what your liability could be so that you can do whatever is necessary to minimize that risk to you. And what you should know if you own a dog is that Florida Statute Section 767 outlines the liability that you carry as a result of being a dog owner. And basically what that says is that you are liable for any actions of that dog that causes injury to persons or property, whether it be in a private place such as your yard or a public place such as the street in front of your house. Most of the time when we see this situation, we see it where somebody comes over to your house. Maybe a friend of yours comes into your house to have dinner, and for some reason the dog, they go to pet your dog. The dog bites their hand, causes them to have lacerations or some type of damage to their hand. Now you've got medical bills, and now you've got a potential claim for the damage to that person's hand. And under Florida law, you're liable for that because it's your dog, and that person is lawfully on your property and did nothing to provoke the dog. So if, when you're thinking about dog bite liability, you're responsible for any damage that your dog does to people that are lawfully on your property or to people that are in public places where your dog has access to them. So if you let your dog out in your front yard and to do his business, and he runs out into the sidewalk and bites a neighbor, you're liable. If you let your dog out in the front yard and a bicyclist is riding by on the street and your dog runs out and jumps on the bicyclist, causing the bike to tip over and injure the bicyclist, you're liable. If you have your dog on a leash and you're walking down a public roadway, just walking your dog, and as so often happens when I walk my dog, children come running up to pet the dog without saying anything, and your dog gets scared and turns around and snaps at the child. If the dog bites the child, you're liable for the damages that dog causes. So these are all situations that your dog can place liability on you, and you may not think about it, and you need to think about it beforehand. Now, there are defenses that can be raised to a dog bite. If you have your dog in a fenced-in yard and there's bad dog signs that let people know that you have a dog that might bite them, and they enter that yard and get bitten, obviously that's a defense that you can raise. Other defenses are available too, such as if the dog is provoked by the person that is ultimately bit. If they come onto your property and start teasing the dog or acting like they're going to attack the dog, and the dog bites them out of protecting itself, you can raise that as a defense. I think you can also raise a defense if you're standing there with your dog on a leash and somebody attacks you and your dog does what the dogs are supposed to do, which is protect you. I think you can raise that as a defense as well. So these defenses are available to you, as well as others that are outlined in the statute. But it's always a good idea to know these defenses, again, before you're out there and liability has been incurred. One thing people don't realize is that most of the time your homeowner's insurance, if you have homeowner's insurance on your house, covers your liability for dog bites. That way if somebody comes onto your property or somebody comes over to your house and they're having dinner and your dog nips them in the arm and they have to go to the emergency room and get stitches, and so there's outstanding medical bills and things that they want you to pay, you have a homeowner's insurance policy that should cover you for those damages. Although something you should be aware of is that Recently, we've been seeing a lot of these homeowners policies that simply write out any liability for dog ownership. So especially for dogs such as Rottweilers or Doberman Pinschers, or some of the dogs that are known to be aggressive, the policies are these days are certainly writing those types of dogs out. But most of the time, if you have a poodle or a smaller dog that's a house dog, usually your policy of insurance with under your homeowner's insurance coverage will cover you for liability. So if these things occur in your household or on your yard, the first thing you should do is check your policy of insurance, see if there's coverage that would provide benefits to the person that was bitten, and that might provide you with an avenue of defense to these claims. Also, your homeowner's policy, if it does cover you for these incidents, they do provide you, if you're sued for dog liability, they provide you with an attorney to defend you for those types of claims. So these are things that you should know beforehand, that you have, so that you don't have to worry so much about liability that you might incur as a result of a dog. Well, I hope the information that I provided you in this video regarding the potential liabilities associated with dog ownership has been helpful to you. These kind of claims, you tend to get emotional when your dog is involved, and it's always a good idea if you have a situation where somebody's making a claim against you for liability for your dog's actions, or if you have to make a claim against someone else for liability for their dog's actions. I'd suggest that you talk to a qualified legal counsel to know exactly the rights that you have. A copy of the Florida statutes dealing with dog liability is attached to our website, and I urge you to review those so that you are aware of what can happen to you. And as always, if it's something that I can be of assistance to you, please feel free to give me a call at 321-951-3400. And I thank you for your time and attention to this matter.